Hello everyone, welcome to the 42nd tutorial in the series of Complete Guide to ReactJS. So Fragments is one of the advanced topic in the ReactJS and we are going to see that in this tutorial. And at the end of the tutorial, you will come to know like what is Fragments, why to use Fragments, when to use Fragments, and what are the different ways of representing a Fragments, and as well as our questions, how to use Fragments as well. So let me take a look at the Visio code, and inside this Visio code I am going to create a new folder and I'm going to name it as advanced like that. And inside this new folder I'm going to create a new file, going to call it as fragments.js. And inside this fragments.js I'm going to give RSF as a code component. Over here I'm also going to mention fragments demo, save it, and inside app.js I'm going to import it from advanced folder, and what I'm going to import is I'm going to import fragments. And over here in app.js, compared to the previous tutorial, I have done some modification, which is nothing but I have typed I from app.js, and over here the fragment component whichever that we created, I have also mentioned that. Going to save it and take a look at the browser. So I am getting displayed two line items. One is from the app.js and the second one is from the fragments demo. So now I am going to take a look at the fragments demo, whatever that I have been there, and over here I can see the div tag is present over here, right? So instead of that I'm going to type h1 over here. Also close the h1, save it, take a look at the browser. The fragments demo alone is in the caps. Say for example, I have to put one more component and I'm going to call it as descriptions, and I'm going to mention it as this is from fragment description like that. I'm going to save it. Over here at the console itself it is giving me an error saying that it should be returned from a single parent element. It should not have been a double element, and this double element should not be returned. This we have seen in the first initial tutorial in this series itself. So in the browser also it is going to give you the same error. So in order to avoid that, what we were doing is we were putting a div tag like this and enclose all the contents into the div tag. Over here. Save it, take a look at the browser. Perfect. It displays whatever the contents over here. So now I'm going to examine it. By clicking on it, if you see, there is a div tag which is from the parent component. There is another div tag which is from the child component. So over here it is fine. But say for example, if I am having thousands of components, each and every time one component is getting displayed, an additional div tag would be displayed, which is a overridden, and even it is not a clear approach, and the document DOM, right, document object model, would be overheaded. And over here also we are in a situation that we have two tags, and hence we have to compensate that or group that into a div tag, and there is no other, right? So what we need to do in order to avoid this, fragments comes into a picture. So instead of a div tag, I'm going to replace that with the fragment tag, which will be mentioned by this, whatever I am showing, I'm writing react.fragment like that, and I'm also going to close it with react.fragments over here, and I'm going to save it. I'm going to take a look at the browser. it is rendering it. And over here, I'm also going to keep over there and take a look at the browser. Over here, you can see I from app.js, which is nothing but from the app.js, the parent component, and then the fragment components. You can see the react.fragment, whichever that we typed, right? It's getting disappeared. It is not present, right? So that is one of the main advantage of the react.fragment. It is like an invisible tag that won't show in the console. So this is one of the main advantage of react.fragments. And over here it would be like quite complex, or it would look awkward for you saying that why, as div tag is enough, right? Like that it would come into your mind. But if you have 1,000 or 2,000 components in Facebook, we are using 2,000 components, 10,000 components in a single web page. So imagine over there, you will have so many number of div tags, and it is not very easy to maintain that. So to avoid that, this is the best way. So that's it from this tutorial. In the next tutorial, what I am going to do is I'm going to explain you in an advanced manner, like what happens if you use a div tag and a table like that and all, which we are going to take a look at in the next tutorial. Thank you and have a nice day.